Welcome to the Life of Captain Marvel, a comic miniseries in which Carol Danvers explores the life that led her to become Captain Marvel. This is issue 1 of 5. In the middle of a fight alongside the Avengers, Captain Marvel, real name Carol Danvers, starts to have flashbacks to her childhood. Particularly to one summer in Maine, at a place her family would go to from Boston. She remembers spending precious moments there with her brothers, Joe and Steve. But she also remembers her father, an abusive man who beat up the boys. Crippled by this traumatic flashback, Carol has a panic attack. Late on, in Tony Stark's lab, Carol tells Tony about her father, and he suggests that she take some time off, especially now, around Father's Day. Carol heads out to Maine, where her mother is now living with Carol's brother Joe, her husband and younger son having died years ago. She plays basketball with Joe Jr., and later sits down for dinner with him and her mother. Joe's mood shifts, as he starts to ask his sister why she is here. Carol has avoided visiting home because of her father, and though Joe Jr. was abused by the man, he still loves and respects him, which is why he gets angry when Carol brings up the subject. He storms out of the house. Carol finds her brother in the local cemetery, getting drunk in front of his father's grave. Carol's efforts to placate him are in vain, and he tells her that she's under no obligation to stay, before driving off in his car in an inebriated state. Carol stays in the cemetery, and as the memories of her father come flooding back, she flies into a rage and breaks his tombstone. Suddenly, she hears the sound of tires squealing and a car crashing. She knows instantly that this is her brother, and rushes to rescue him. Joe has driven his car off the bridge, and Carol manages to save him before he plunges into the water along with the fiery wreckage of the vehicle. But though he came out of it alive, Joe suffered traumatic head injury in the crash. He lay in a coma for 9 months, and when he awoke, he was consigned to a wheelchair, unable to speak or move on his own. It is at this time that Tony Stark decides to get back in touch with Carol, to tell her that the Avengers need her. Carol tells Tony that her mother needs her more, and she will stay in Maine as long as she needs to. As they move Joe back into the house, Carol's mother tells her that the time has come for her to leave. Carol tells her that she isn't going anywhere, and heads upstairs to clean up Joe's old room since he can no longer climb the stairs to reach it. As she's cleaning out Joe's closet, Carol sees an old shoebox. It looks too old to be any of the kids, and opens it. Inside, she finds a letter her father wrote to someone. The letter reveals that Joe Sr. was having an affair with whomever it was addressed to. Carol is devastated by this revelation, but she also finds a strange external drive in the box. Wondering what her father could have been doing with a piece of technology like this, Carol takes it to the garage and tries to break it open. She is called away by her mother mid-task, and leaves to go help her. Unbeknownst to her, however, the device has been activated. It sends a beam up into space, that passes through a series of strange devices and wormholes, activating something in the distant reaches of space and time. Unaware of all this, Carol sits on the rocks as she did when she was a child, clasping the letter, as a hologram of Tony Stark comforts her. And that's how issue 1 of the Life of Captain Marvel ends. What will the letter reveal about Carol's family? And what repercussions will Carol's activating this deep space signal have? Find out in the next installment.